Hello, my fellow Americans. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Monday, May the 20th, the year 2013. I talk a lot about taking responsibility for yourselves, for your thoughts, for your actions, for the results. But have you noticed with this Obama regime, as Rush Limbaugh likes to talk about it, how Obama and the people that serve him, who are supposedly serving the country, aren't taking responsibility for the results they're producing? I mean, I do believe they're still blaming the economy on Bush. They're not taking responsibility for what happened with Benghazi. They're not taking responsibility for what's going on with the IRS. They're not taking responsibility for what's going on in Gitmo. They're just not taking any responsibility. I mean, Obama's the president. That's where the buck stops. But he's not taking any responsibility. None. Fast and furious. They're not taking responsibility. And Congress, they're not taking responsibility. They're just pointing. The Democrats, the Republicans, the conservatives, it doesn't matter. Nobody is taking responsibility. But what they are doing is they're taking our money. I mean, the economy. All the cover-ups, Wall Street shenanigans, nobody's taking responsibility for that. It seems like they're all in it together, and they're protecting their own. Meanwhile, they're just basically stealing from we the people. And that's probably why they want to take our guns from us. Because, once again, if the truth got out, if people learned the truth, then they would have that responsibility of fixing what's wrong. And that's probably why Obama and his minions lie to us on a regular, recurring basis. Because if we found out the truth, we'd probably use the Second Amendment for its intended purposes. Have you noticed the shortage of ammo? I was at Walmart the other day. There's hardly any ammo on the shelves. Only the exotic rounds. No 22s, no 12 gauge, no 45s, no 38s, no 357s, no 40s, no 223s, no 762 by 39s. I mean, it's all gone. No 9mm. Gone. I don't think they want us to have ammo and the means to defend ourselves or to make things right. You know, it's really funny how when you talk to people, most people seem to understand that something's wrong. Like in the Matrix, you know something's wrong. It's like a splinter in your mind driving you crazy. But what really drives us crazy is we know it's messed up, but we just can't seem to do something about it. But we know what must be done. We got to throw the bums out. And it's either by ballot or by bullet. And most people don't want to talk about the bullet part. But we know the ballot part's pretty much fixed. Because they always do something, those in power, to stay in power. Campaign laws, election laws. The whole idea that a corporation is a person and therefore they can contribute is a farce. Because if a corporation is a person, then a corporation should have to file 1040s just like the rest of the people. But no, they file C or S forms for corporations or S corporations. So they pay their taxes only on profit, whereas we the people, we pay our taxes on the income. Big difference. We don't get to deduct things like rent. Don't get to deduct that. Food. Nope. Electricity. Nope. All the expenses of living. Nope. Gasoline. Nope. But corporations do. So how can they be a corporation on one hand and a person on the other? You got to be one or the other. But once again, those in control stay in control. He who has the goal makes the rules. And we the people, we get the short end. But I know I'm preaching to the choir. You guys know this stuff. But I just find it really disturbing that we have an administration, the Obama regime, that won't take responsibility for their actions. They're always passing the buck. They have to find a fall guy, or they got to cover up. They have to silence. It's an evil empire we have here. This is probably the most corrupt government that's ever existed in the history of governments. It really gets my blood boiling sometimes when people talk about Mexico who have never been to Mexico, and they talk about how corrupt the government is down there. I think I might have talked about this in one of my first videos. That the thing about Mexico is yeah, their government's corrupt, but anybody can buy justice. See, here in America, only the privileged few can buy justice. What am I talking about buying justice? I think you may know, but just in case. See, in Mexico, if you get pulled over or something, maybe you can slip the guy a 20 or a 50 or a 100 and he lets you go. You buy justice. Here in America, depending on who's pulling you over and who you are in the community, you might not even have to buy justice. They just might let you go. Or maybe you do them a favor, or you've done them a favor and they let you go. But if you're a nobody and you try and slip them a $100 bill, well, that's just another charge added to the ticket. Bribing a peace officer. But we all know it happens because every now and then the scandals come out. Some big shot gets caught. So what you have to realize is for every one that's caught, how many are escaping the law? They catch 1 out of 10, 1 out of 50, 1 out of 100. Who knows? But we know it ain't 1 out of 1. We know it ain't 10 out of 10 or 100 out of 100, so it's happening. And once again, we the people, we just got to take it. So what are we to do? Lock and load? And wait for a signal? I don't know what the signal would be. So in the meantime, us Americans that are preppers, we prepare today, so hopefully we get through today and tomorrow. Just live out our lives. I mean, I just got some bad news today. A former drummer in a band that I played in, looks like he's on his last few days on this planet. He's got some really bad health problems. So when you have these kind of personal tragedies, what's going on in the rest of the world, it doesn't really matter that much to you. Because as I've stated in other videos, health always comes first. I mean, if you're sick or ill or injured, all you want to do is get better. The rest of the stuff doesn't really matter. And then once you get ill, or once you recover from being ill, injured, then other things start to matter. It's always relative to your status or your state at a given time. So it's a matter of keeping things in perspective. So, that being said, my fellow Americans, as always, it is time to wake up and smell the tyranny.